Congressman John Chaffetz. Joining us now is Representative John Chaffetz and Congressman Joseph Sestak, who voted against the amendment. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
You too, guys.
It's Jason Chaffetz, by the way.
Jason, you know, I knew that, and I'm not sure why. It said John.
My dad's name is John. That's
okay,
all right.
Well, that's who we're referring to. No, actually, we're referring to you. Thanks for being here. And I want to start with you, Congressman Chaffetz, because you recently said something that's gotten a lot of attention. I'll read your quote. No one needs to see my wife and kids naked to secure an airplane. But Congressman, wouldn't you rather them be screened than possibly be on a plane with an undetected explosive on someone?
Well, look, I'm in the air every 3 or 4 days. I want the planes to be as safe and secure as possible. And by the way, the bill that I offered, the amendment that I offered, it banned the whole body imaging as mandatory primary screening, but absolutely allowed for secondary screening. And in this case, if ever there was a poster child for somebody who should have received secondary screening, who should have gone through a whole body imaging machine, it was this guy on the guy that, from the incident on the 25th. So the bill didn't ban it outright. It just said we're not going to use that as mandatory primary screening, but we are going to use it as a secondary screening. It should be widely deployed here in the United States and internationally. The technology works, and we should be using it.
Yes, but you don't like it for everybody. Congressman Sestak, do you like these body image screeners for everyone?
Well, Allison, I was stationed at the Pentagon when 9/11 happened, and then I took over command of the Navy's anti-terrorism unit, trying to deal with keeping the terrorists overseas. But my work with the interagency showed that at times we are now going to have a home game, and the terrorists want to use the plane as a weapon, and we're not perfect. And so I was very supportive of using these as a primary tool, because if they're used only as a secondary once the primary tells you to use them, but the primary doesn't detect them, then I have to say that, look, they're using this public carrier as a weapon. And it's a choice to go on it, a necessary choice almost at times for my good colleague from Utah. But it is a choice. And you have to have the right balance. But my decision to vote against this amendment was people on a plane have the right to feel we've used the best technology. And in 1994, first use of this type of weapon was used where somebody came on board that plane, left this concealed explosive, walked off the plane, and exploded in the middle of the air.
Right.
We've been too late to use this type of technology to protect my wife, my daughter.
Right. And when you say you voted against it, meaning that you do want to use the scanners. But Congressman Chaffetz, back to you for a second.
Absolutely right.
But Congressman, let me ask you this. Let's say that somebody tries to board a plane with an explosive that doesn't have as many red flags as this Nigerian, who doesn't just buy a one-way ticket with cash and no baggage. Somebody who does have a concealed explosive. Why not use it on every passenger?
Well, I wish the technology was foolproof. I wish we could say that it would catch 100% of the bad guys getting on the planes, but you can't say that. What I'm in favor of is finding something that's more effective and yet less invasive.
Such as?
And that's the key.
What's that?
Well, so if we walked through the metal detector and then you had a dog just give you a basic sniff, you would be much more effective. It would be a lot less costly, a lot less invasive, and I think would help solve the problem. So, you know, the technology is not foolproof, and we have to figure out how do we balance our personal privacy concerns and our civil rights with our ability to secure an airplane.
All right, guys, I'm sorry that I'm going to have to owe you one, Congressman Sestak. We're out of time, but we will leave it on that problem-solving solution. Congressman Chaffetz and Sestak, thank you so much. Happy New Year to both of you.
Happy New Year.
Same to you, Alice.
Thank you. Our meeting.